Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loads 15, where I'm giving you my horse racing predictions for tomorrow's horse racing action here in the UK. And we'll also have a special tip for the Irish 2000 Guineas towards the end of the vlog, which I'll give you my selection for that race tomorrow. Just going to go through on how today's selections ran. Well, not bad. It was a bit of a mixed day. We had some good performances in the fact that they did place, they ran well, they were in the business end. But none of them came in for us today, and no winners unfortunately today. But at least we picked some horses that ran okay. We had Learn by Heart, which was the Queen's horse at Haydock. That was not a bad performance there. That caught the eye towards the end of the race. It stayed on really well and managed to come home in third place. Nearly got second, but definitely one to keep in the memory bank there. We also had Della Gusta at Goodwood. Again, finished third, was in the mix, but didn't prevail for us today. Also had Monaco Rose at Goodwood. Again, same kind of story really. And we also had Lab Hay, who really faded towards the last furlong in that race after being prominent and looking okay throughout. So I reckon that horse maybe won a bit shorter trips, but we'll have to see how that horse runs in future races. So yeah, not a great day, but there's a lot of good horse racing action on tomorrow. Again, we could have had a few lucky 15s we could have made up for tomorrow, but I've gone through some races and found some horses that I quite like the look of tomorrow, to be honest. They might sound one or two selections you might think what the hell is he going for there, but I think they might run okay. And we're going to start off tomorrow at Haydock in the 255 for our lucky 15 with a horse called Private Mission, which is from the Hughie Morrison yard. I like Hughie Morrison. I tend to back a lot of his winners, especially when they're a little bit bigger prices and a little bit under the radar, as it were. It's going to be ridden by Charlie Bennett tomorrow, who's a conditional jockey, so he'll be able to take, I think he's £3 conditional jockey, so he'll be able to take £3 off there. And this horse, Private Mission, we last saw it at Leicester a few weeks ago, where it won really nicely on its seasonal reappearance, and it's definitely up to improvement. Definitely can learn from that run. It's going up in trip tomorrow, and if you look at its pedigree, a lot of its top connections in its pedigree have run over further. Last time it ran at Leicester, it ran over 7 furlongs. It's in the mile tomorrow, so yeah, that one looks to me quite interesting on paper. Currently 8-1 with bookmakers at the moment. A little bit of an open race, that one, but I definitely think he could be a good player tomorrow. And the way that he's been improving, he's had 2 seconds and a win, and I think he's definitely open to some more improvement. So that's who I'm going for there. Private Mission in the 255 at Haydock. We go to the 310 at Goodwood. And the horse that I've selected here is Hyde Park, which is Josephine Gordon and John Gosden teaming up for this ride. Currently, again, similar price to Private Mission, 15-2 with bookmakers at the moment. Now, again, last time we saw this horse, it won emphatically at Doncaster towards the end of last season. We had Frankie Dettori aboard that day. That horse, Hyde Park, won by 5 lengths that day at Doncaster, and a really nice ride. It absolutely blitzed away the field. And again, it's making its seasonal reappearance tomorrow. And again, like some of these other horses, it's definitely open to improvement. And I think it's really interesting considering that win that had at Doncaster last time. Doncaster is normally a good, strong index of form. A lot of form from Doncaster normally works out, and hopefully this will pay off for us tomorrow. So, yeah, that's who we've gone for there, Hyde Park. The third horse in our lucky 15 tomorrow sees us go back to Haydock for the 405. And the horse that I'm going for here is Washington DC, which is an Aidan O'Brien horse, and will be ridden by Irish jockey coming over, Wayne Lorden. Now, currently the bookie's favourite at the moment, 4-1, and this horse again is open to some slight improvement. It's now 4 years old. It ran in the Palace House Stakes at Newmarket, where it only just got pipped in the end to finish in second place. So, bit disappointing for that horse there, but he had a win at Navan prior to that, and he'd been running okay, and he looks like he could be open up to some improvement, and I think with another run under his belt tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be a win, he could definitely be a good prospect for the flat season ahead. And with all those top connections, Aidan O'Brien in great form, I think I saw some bookmakers are paying out Aidan O'Brien to win all the classics this season at 20-1. So if you fancy that bet, and maybe you can find that bet on some bookmakers, you might want to take that. But I'm not so sure. I think maybe Gosden could maybe get him in the derby with Cracksman, but we'll look at that more nearer the time, because it is the derby next weekend, which will be a big race, so stay tuned for that on the channel here. And also as well, I think Washington DC will put that form to bed. He's meeting, to be fair, one or two market rivals, two or three of the market rivals in this race tomorrow, I should say. He did meet in the Palace House Stakes at Newmarket, but I definitely think they've got more to prove than him. So that's what I'm going for there, Washington DC as our third selection. Our last selection now sees us go to the Irish 2000 Guineas, which I said at the start of the video to make up our last leg in our Lucky 15 tomorrow. Now on paper, you look at it and everyone's tipping it, everyone's saying it's going to win, and it's a bookmaker's favourite by a clear country mile. That is the horse Churchill, which won the 2000 Guineas at Newmarket a few weeks ago in great style. It's a great horse. It's won 6 out of its 7 races. It's round about 4-11 on with bookmakers at the moment. Aidan O'Brien, Ryan Moore, normally a great combination for winning races. And yeah, on paper you would think that's the horse that will win this race tomorrow, but I'm not quite so sure. I think that Churchill, yeah, it's going to be no shock if he wins, but I think at a price there's 1 or 2 horses possibly that might just get him, because he never wins quite convincingly, Churchill. And I remember in Newmarket when he won the 2000 Guineas, there was a bit, well, is he going to win, because he was sweating and that, and he just didn't look right, but he managed to pull the win out of the hat and won well in the end by about 1.5 lengths. But the horse that I'm tipping tomorrow, and a lot of people were tipping at Newmarket for the 2000 Guineas, was Lancaster Bomber. And I'm going to go for him tomorrow. He's currently 10-1 at the moment, which is another Aidan O'Brien horse, and will be ridden, I think it's his son, Donature O'Brien. Now, around about 10-1 in the market, this horse met up against Churchill last time out, where it finished 4th, but there wasn't much between the first 4 runners in that race. There was only 2 lengths. And if you look at it, and Lancaster Bomber has run some good races behind he's normally, when he's run against Churchill, he's normally hit the front with about a furlong or 2 left to go, and Churchill's just come past him. But you got the feeling that maybe one day Lancaster Bomber could get the better of Churchill, and I think tomorrow could be the day. So that's who I'm going for there. I was also quite tempted by the look of Thunder Snow as well, which did go over to America for the Kentucky Derby, but didn't feature in the race. He got pulled up straight away because he was playing up in the stalls, and as soon as the race started, he got pulled up. He's got a French jockey on board tomorrow. I think his name's like Christophe Soumelion or something like that. But he's a fairly good jockey, and he's got a good relationship with this horse. It's a Godolphin horse, and again, it's run about a similar price to Churchill. I think 11, 12-1, something like that. But that been running really well as well. So it's quite an interesting race on paper tomorrow, in my opinion, because even though Churchill probably will win the race tomorrow, I think that there's a few other angles into the race that you could consider, and that's why I am backing Lancaster Bomber in the Irish 2000 Guineas. But if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm mad, if you think Churchill's going to win it hands down, leave your comments in the comments box below. Also, follow us on Twitter at LuckyLoaders15, like us on Facebook at LuckyLoaders15, subscribe to the channel for more horse racing predictions, gamble responsibly, and I'll see you soon.